Hello everyone, retro gamers and nostalgics for the good old days. Today we have an arcade gem that has landed on the Sega Genesis with more explosions than a Michael Bay movie. Ladies and gentlemen, here comes Truxton. Get ready for a journey into a universe made of spaceships, menacing aliens, and a difficulty level that probably defies every law of physics and patience. So, let's start from the beginning. It's 1989 and the world of vertical shooters is dominated by classics like Xevious and 1942. But then, Toa Plan, a Japanese studio that seems to have had a penchant for brutal games, decides to launch Truxton, a title that raises the bar with a barrage of bullets like you've never seen. And so, a few years later, it arrives on Genesis, transforming the living room into a space battlefield. But what's the story? Well, I'll tell you. You are the pilot of a spaceship that must stop the invasion of evil aliens known as the Giants. And, believe me, they didn't come for a cosmic picnic. They brought every imaginable weapon, and you are the last hope of the universe, right?
Now let's talk about how this little gem works. Truxton is a classic vertically scrolling shoot 'em up, where you're constantly moving upwards while everything on the screen desperately tries to destroy you. The game comes with 3 weapon types, the blue laser, the red fire wave, and the green minigun. The difference? The laser gives you a narrow but powerful beam, the fire covers a wider area, and is useful when everything, literally everything, tries to kill you. Machine gun, well, it's a classic. Now, the bombs, the real ace in the hole. Activating a bomb is like calling in a nuclear explosion. A giant skull appears on the screen, exterminating everything that moves. Incredible, right? But be careful, you will only have so many limited, and every bomb is precious, because it will serve to breathe a sigh of relief in the midst of the alien fury.
Let's move on to the merits, and this is where Truxton shines like a supernova. First, the difficulty. I know you're thinking, is that a virtue? Absolutely yes. Truxton is made for purists of the genre, those who love to be challenged. It doesn't offer you any help, it doesn't forgive you anything, and this makes it a super intense experience. The controls respond very well, as befits a true arcade game. The graphics are bright and detailed, and for 1989, the explosions and effects are spectacular. Truxton also has a soundtrack that paces the gameplay perfectly. Each level has its own track, which oscillates between bloody epic and my adrenaline is through the roof. Finally, longevity. The first time you play Truxton, you won't think you'll finish it in one try, trust me. Between the endless levels of bullets, enemies that seem to come out of every corner, and huge bosses that take up half the screen, this is a game that takes hours, weeks, and maybe lives.
Now let's talk about those little flaws, because no one is perfect, not even Truxton. First flaw? The difficulty. Yes, I know, I mentioned it as an advantage, but here we are talking about a level of challenge that sometimes borders on cruelty. It's not for the faint of heart. If you like shooting everything that moves without too much fuss, Truxton might blow your mind. Another problem? The repetitiveness. The enemies repeat themselves a lot, and even the power-ups don't offer a great variety. After a while, the game can seem like one of those infinite loops: shoot, dodge, collect the power-up, and repeat. For a game from 1989, it's okay, but today it might be a little monotonous. And then, the limited lives. Truxton has no problem taking everything from you with a single burst. And if you lose lives, boom, we start again. There are no checkpoints, no saves, just sweat and sacrifice. Definitely a nice way to test your patience.
Now, applause for the graphic style. Truxton doesn't aim for reality but for spectacularity, and he totally succeeds. The The levels have a futuristic aesthetic that is perfectly suited to a space battle. With menacingly drawn aliens and highly detailed spaceships, it's all a bit retro and psychedelic, and that's exactly what you expect from a title like this. And the music. Ladies and gentlemen, the Toaplan team has come up with a soundtrack that does its job perfectly. Each track is a mix of electronic and rock that keeps you on the edge, increasing the intensity while the screen is filled with enemies and bullets. If you happen to die, and trust me, you will, at least you will do it to the rhythm of the music. Truxton isn't just a game, it's an experience that marks the transition from simple shoot-'em-ups to ones that make you scream in frustration. It was one of the first games to feature a visual bombardment of bullets, which made it a forerunner of modern bullet hell. Today, Truxton is still beloved by fans, although many casual gamers might find it a little hard to digest. But it's precisely its intensity that makes it a cult. The Sega Genesis had already brought badass titles, but Truxton, it was a real test of endurance.
If you love a challenge and aren't afraid to die, and die again and again, then Truxton is the game for you. But I advise you to have a good amount of patience, because this is no joke. It's not the classic game to relax on the sofa with a drink, it's more of an alien marathon that will keep you glued to the screen. But if you master it, Truxton will reward you with the satisfaction of having joined the elite of hardcore gamers. It's an experience worth every moment spent dodging bullets and destroying waves of aliens. Well, guys, it was a pleasure to take you on this adrenaline-filled journey. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe for more reviews of games that test your nerves. And now, grab your controller, make yourself comfortable, and prepare to enter the brutal world of Truxton. See you next time, gamers!